Hello there! Today I'll be talking about the legendary Battle of Karánsebes. The setting is at the start of the Habsburg-Ottoman War of 1788 to 1791. The Habsburg and Russian empires were allied, but it hadn't really been a fruitful alliance for the Russians. The Habsburgs had been of little help to the Russians when they had invaded and annexed Crimea in the early 1780s. Feeling quite guilty about it, Emperor Joseph II would now help his Russian friends against the Ottomans. So, half a year after Russia declared war on the Ottomans, Emperor Joseph followed suit and marched to war against the Ottomans in February 1788. But it was a bit too late. In July, big numbers of Ottoman forces crossed the Danube at Belgrade and into the Habsburg Banat. In August, the Habsburg army finally arrived at the Banat, but supplies were scarce and it affected both sides, and of course, the civilians too. It's here the legend starts. The Habsburg army, which probably was around 50,000 strong, was setting up camp around the town of Karánsebes. The army's vanguard, consisting of cavalry, crossed a nearby river to scout for Ottoman movements. They didn't find any Ottomans, but they did run into a group of gypsies from who they bought some schnapps. Sometime later, the infantry crossed the river too. When they saw the cavalry having a party going on, the infantry also wanted some alcohol from themselves. The cavalry refused to share any of the schnapps, and while still drunk, they set up makeshift fortifications around the barrels they had just bought. A fierce argument started, and someone fired a shot, which immediately caused the cavalry and infantry to shoot at each other. During the combat, some infantrymen began shouting, "Turks! Turks!" The cavalry thought an Ottoman army was really about to attack and fled. Watching the cavalry fleeing and hearing that the Turks were coming, the infantry also started to run away. And the situation wasn't made much better by the officers, who in an attempt to restore order shouted "Halt! Halt!", which was misheard by some soldiers who didn't speak German as Allah, Allah in some weird way. Anyways, as the cavalry ran through the camps, a commander thought that it was an Ottoman cavalry charge and ordered the artillery to fire. The artillery and the cavalry woke up the entire camp. The just awoken soldiers thought the camp was under attack and started to run for their lives. The soldiers fired at everything that moved, thinking that the Ottomans were really everywhere and attacking their camp, but in reality they were just shooting at their fellow soldiers. The incident came to a point where the whole army retreated from the imaginary enemy. The number of dead and wounded isn't really known, but some of the highest estimates mention around 1,000 to 2,000 casualties. 2 days later, the actual Ottoman army arrived and took Karánsebes and discovered the dead and wounded soldiers. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any topic you would like a video on, just comment down below. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so to show your support for this channel.